Okay, welcome to this episode. Like we promised in the last episode, in this we'll start with creating Hello World. A simple concept we actually work with across different programming languages. So we would actually start with creating Hello World using a notification because this is an API. It's not expected to show you. We are creating with an API management tool. It's not expected to give a pop-up or something like that to the system back. So create a a simple hello world using the notification option, using the notification shape. Then also would later on we'll actually be seeing how to do the same hello world using REST services, which is so cool. So the first thing we just need to take care of two things. We need to set up an atom and an environment. So to set up an atom or an environment, I just come to atoms management. So I click on set up a new atom. An atom is a processing block, a processor. So because I'm working in a test system, I'm just going to use test cloud. So I'm going to do test dev dev atom. I make sure for when you're working in because I'm just setting up for test environments. I use test cloud. I'm not using the real cloud, but it gives you the same. You'll be able to do basically everything. So the next thing you want to do is you want to create your first environment. So I'll just refresh this. So when you refresh this, it shows you what we call unattached atoms. Ideally, every atom is supposed to be attached to an environment. So it helps you to, so in case you're in a landscape, you have different environments, and your pricing, you actually buy the number of atoms that should run. So that from time to time, you can actually move atoms between environments. So now we can actually add our first environment using this or using new and come to environments. So I'm just going to also go to test also, and I'm going to do dev environments, env for environments. I click on save. To push this into this, I have two options. I click on the environment and I choose the atom I want, and it saves. Or I had the option of dragging and dropping this. So we just wait for this to process, and we continue. Okay, so this is done. So we are going to continue. Okay, so we just go back to we are done here. Everything has saved. You can actually see in your dev environment, you can see the dev atom. So I'm going to go back to the build tab. To create a new process, I can actually use this new process. You can actually use this, so you can actually do new. So what are we doing is a process. So I want to do hello world. So like I said, whenever I say this, you always choose the folder you want to actually save your work in. So I'm going to choose this. So I click on create. So now this every process actually starts with a start shape. So basically, are you trying to connect to an application, Salesforce, Amazon S3, Amazon SNS. There are a lot of options. There's Microsoft Dynamics, there is SAP, there is Salesforce. So there are quite a lot of applications out there you can actually connect to. Are you trying to connect to a trading partner when you're actually working with EDIs? Are you just for data pass through? Is this just trying to be to pass data or no data? However, in this application, we are not trying to pass any data because it's just we are going to type a hello world, and we just want to see that back in a notification hello world. So this one we are working with no data, so I'm just going to write um every so in Boom you always have to give a display name. What name should be displayed to the on the process? So I'm just going to write step 1. Yes, so it's pretty it's something everybody can see. It's step 1. Yeah, the next thing I just want to do is so easily to drag to put a shape here. You can always drag. Okay, you can always drag. Okay, you can always drag. Okay, So whenever you want to actually, you can actually easily, you can actually remove it. Just hover over it, and you hover over it and click on remove. You just click on remove. Also, now most times when starting out, people are confused between this message and notification and notify shapes. Later, I'll be saying the process. Processes helps us to construct messages that we can actually send to another process. However, notify helps us to send. It creates an output that we can actually visualize on using the tool, the debug tool. So we are using a um, notify for this session. So we are going to just do a simple process of connecting a no data shape to a notify. Yeah, and that will be pretty much. Then after, we would now see so to actually attach two processes, all you just need to do is you have to drag and drop where you see the negative sign to the next shape. It turns gr green. However, on some systems you might see this as a blue. So it depends on the resolution of your system. And I'll show you something about a bit amazing about the MoveSoft tool. Is what we call the arrange shape. Whenever you have like you have a long process, however things can get too messy. You might want to arrange things to be more orderly. You might want to arrange things to be more orderly. So you can just do use the arrange button. However, so all I just need to do now, I need to look for a new shape. To look for a new shape, I just search here. I'm looking for a stop shape. Stop shape is just to signify the end of any process. I click on stop. I click on final step. Click on OK. You can actually check or uncheck this. This is a very simple process. This won't have any impact. But whenever I check this, it shows it tells the system, okay, you can continue processing if the other steps in the process. We'll see this when we are working with branches. So I just have to drag this to this. So I'm just going to show an example of where the arrange function comes in useful. So assuming I have a process like this and I click on arrange, it tells me that I have unsaved changes. Do I want to save it? I say saved and arrange. It arranges orderly in a straight fashion. So when you're working, it actually helps you beautify your work because sometimes your work can actually get really messy. So the next thing we just want to do is come to notify. Want to actually create a display name. Notification step. Then the title, it's want to give it a title. We'll say message notification box. And what is our message here? It's a simple hello world. So we're not working with any variables in this one. We'll later see about this. We click on OK. We save our process and we can test our process. So pretty simple. So whenever you want to test your process, it asks you where it's going to run on. So you can actually, if you want to run on your production server, if you want to work on Boomi Test Cloud. However, we have created a test atom which is in the test environment. So I'm using this. That's what I'll be using for the training. I click on test run. So on the good thing about it, when it's running, it shows you where it shows you this particular floating chart, and after it shows you the anywhere you see a green outline, it shows you this process ran successfully. Yeah, and gives you feedback. So when we click on this, it shows us a log and connection data. Like here, we can't see any log and connection data because we have none. But as we go further, we'll be seeing more. So when we click on the notification box, you can see the title we had here and the message here. It shows you the title and the message. That's where how you actually see do hello world in tool, and in the stop here we can actually see a log and a source data. We don't have any source data, but later on we're working with data using the message tool, and this is the end of the process. You can actually see your log here, view logs, to have a more detailed view, download logs, and the rest. You can actually run this process using a new test or a try previous test. So this is a simple hello world process. We'll be actually taking this a step further in the next class. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to ask questions in the forum.